Now, as I always like to do, I do like to check to see the situation of the crowd loans, even if I think that Kintsugi have this in the bag for auction 11, which is due to start in just over 10 hours, as we can see here on subviz.io, 10 hours and 22 minutes to be exact. Again, the bidding chart does show 0% because bidding has not started until the auction ending period is over. Although here I think it's a bug because it says they've submitted a new bid 1 day and 10 hours ago, which should not be the case, to be honest. Yeah, nothing to worry about here, but I do want to check it just to be sure. Pretty much the only concern that we had was Polkasmith, Sherpa X, and Subgame. Okay, and as you can see, I mean, look at this, 617 KSM, it's very, very far off, right? The only thing that could surprise people is Polkasmith. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know, right? There is a really, really small probability that it could happen. But yeah, in today's video, what we're going to be talking about is actually something interesting. We're going to take a look at the grants program from the Web3 Foundation. I have not spoken about those grants in quite some time. I'm not going to look into detail into every single project because there would just not be enough time for the video. And I don't want to talk about projects which I think that may actually fail and are just getting the grant because they want to try and then they're going to fail. I don't want people to get involved in things like that because I don't know enough about them. So why should I recommend them to somebody else, right? But we'll also talk about PolkaProject as well. PolkaProject is obviously the website, the open source website where you can get a list of projects that are developing not only on Substrate but also for the Polkadot ecosystem. Some of them are trying to piggyback off the name, okay, and they're not really going to be developing, but just so you know, it is out there. I have spoken about it on various occasions, but I know that there are a few people that have joined this channel and I really appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. So just in case you're not aware, I'm going to cover it as well. But before we get into that, I've just noticed there's a new feature that's been added by the Karura and Akala devs called Staking TVL here on subviz.io. And if you go to this, it actually tells you what is the staking ratio at the moment, the current staking total value locked, the staking rate, the staking return, and the inflation rate. So you could see for Kusama here, you can toggle between Kusama and Polkadot here on the top left hand corner. 16.5% for Kusama, that's the staking return. They are going to be adding a parachain total value locked as well. It's coming soon, and also an auction one. And for Polkadot, it's 14.07% for staking, so it's not too great considering that the auctions are around the corner. But of course, while you're waiting for the auctions, why not get some staking returns, which of course are great, right? But I do think that with the auctions, especially if Binance are going to support them, the auction ROI is going to be beating the staking return by a lot. And I have done a video explaining why I think that staking is more, or sorry, the auctions are more profitable than staking. I don't think staking is that profitable, honestly. Like so far, I have not seen any project that has been lower or even the same as 16.5% in terms of the annual return. All of them have been a lot more profitable than that. So therefore, you know, it's pretty obvious to me that it's okay to stake while you're waiting for the crowd loans. But then, in my opinion, I think you should contribute to the crowd loans if you have Kusama over staking, because your return is definitely going to be higher. Then you can buy more Kusama. You can recontribute that Kusama from the first unlock. For example, most projects are now unlocking 30%, 40%. Even 20%, but by the time they enable the transfers, you'd have maybe 25% unlocked to you. So yeah, there's definitely a benefit to that. And I do believe that the contributing to crowd loans is definitely a big bonus, and it's something that we should be maybe we should be really thankful that we're given this opportunity, to be honest, because it is rare. We've never seen any other project do something like this. I know there is apparently a scammy project that's trying to copy Kusama. I forget the name. Some people in my community have shared that around. But yeah, that's been it here. We'll take a look at this probably not tomorrow. Maybe I will do one tomorrow on this, but I'm likely going to do a different video tomorrow. But we'll definitely be looking at this throughout the week just to monitor it and make sure that Kintsugi will take the win. I know some people have commented asking, well, if I was able to contribute to Calamari, when they went over the 200k cap, which they said was the 200k cap. How come I was still able to contribute, and will I get the rewards? Well, you were able to contribute because the team made a mistake and their cap was actually at 300k. They did not expect that people are going to be contributing so much KSM that they're going to be unlocking their second cap. So they initially thought they're going to be keeping it capped at 100k, but not a real cap. It's like a fake cap, a virtual cap, if you want to call it that way, because the real cap is always the cap that you see here out of. So once you see the /, whatever is after the /, that's the maximum amount that it's capped at. And of course, the Calamari team did say that they're going to be paying those people that have contributed over the 200k gap, or fake cap, I should say, that they created for the 7th auction. And of course, so don't worry about that. You will get your Calamari tokens at the end of October. That's what Kenny, the lead dev, has said when I last asked him. So next, let's talk about the Wave 11 here from the Web3 Foundation. We'll take a quick look at the different projects here. Like I said, I'm not going to go in depth, but we'll just take a quick look just to kind of give you my thoughts on these. But before that, I'd like to take a moment to thank today's channel sponsors, BitSwapDex, for sponsoring this video.
BitSwap is the hottest new way to trade tokens. Crawling all the top decentralized exchanges, BitSwap will get you the very best price and value for your trades. BitSwap is changing the game. Try it now at bitswapdex.com.
Thank you for that. So now let's talk about Wave 11 here, and Wave 12 is due soon, actually, 4th quarter of 2021, because they do this once every quarter. They evaluate the projects that submit proposals to them. They give you a funding of like $30,000 or so, but you don't get the full amount straight away. So they unlock them to you based on your deliveries. So you could see here some of these projects that have been submitting, like for example, Cyril Carlier, which is a Polka auction website. They've actually submitted their GitHub link, you could see it here, and they've submitted the first delivery to the Web3 Foundation. And if the first delivery is approved, they're going to get the first batch of funding, or maybe their next batch of funding, because they already got one batch, and then the third batch, and so on. So that's basically how it works. Canyon Labs here, also the first delivery. So this is another thing that you should look at here. You can see there's also the completed section here. And this is definitely something you should look at. Like any of these projects that are submitting themselves to the Web3 Foundation for funding but didn't deliver anything are not necessarily a red flag, but just questionable. You should think of them as questionable projects, questionable teams which are maybe trying to get a quick buck, trying to ride the name of Polkadot, you know, trying to get on the hype wagon, as you want to call it, right? But yeah, this one here, Weiban Chen, Notes, DApp, and Site Palette. Okay, this is more technical. They've submitted the first delivery as well. OpenBrush, Super Colony, OpenBrush, Secure Smart Contract Development on Ink. This one as well. What else do we have? Uniscan, NFT Explorer, Shivartu, a blockchain-based decentralized governance system. People, so these are really technical ones here. NFT pool-based lending hub, off-chain voting platform, NFT product analytics suite, Dot Marketplace, Wow Labs. This is an interesting one. They've submitted the first one as well. Subgame Network, they've actually contributed to the no, they've participated in the crowdloans, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Subgame Network, let's go down. I think I see them there. Subgame, these ones, because we were talking about them when I was trolling them about the 1 million cap. They're never going to reach that, in my opinion, but it's nice to see. I mean, these guys have been participating before as well. So yeah, they're looking for funding. They have not submitted their first milestone here, as you can see. So I don't know what's going on here. Decentralized game platform phase 2. Maybe they were trying to become a parachain first, and then they were trying to get the funding. I don't know what's going on. But of course, if they would have become a parachain, then they would have gotten listed on all the 4 big exchanges. And then of course, if the team held any tokens, they could have funded themselves from the tokens, right? From the team tokens. Also, a multi-game platform for Polkadot and Kusama, Cheersland Labs, and UniArts, Robbie Substrate Client. So yeah, we'll have to see. None of these are very interesting to me, to be honest. Maybe one of them, but yeah, aside from that, I don't think there are that many interesting ones as we used to see in previous waves. Like I think there were the really big ones were in wave up to wave 9. That's where we saw some of the big ones that you should keep an eye on. But nevertheless, don't ignore this. I mean, check this page out, the grants program from the Web3 Foundation on GitHub. and just monitor it, like when they're going to list the wave 12 and see what projects may look promising. You can just click on the link here, it'll take you to their website, or go to GitHub to see if you have some access to their website, some screenshots of the product, you know, to kind of get some ideas on that. But next, let's talk about PolkaProject here. So this is the website. This is my go-to website when I want to review something or when I want to check out to see what's new. If you go to the old section here, it shows you the most recent ones that have been added here. What do we have here? We've got True Staking, a group of engineers dedicated to creating fast, secure, and dependable validation nodes that support. But you can see here the tag is validator. This one is infrastructure, a pink node. Some people in my community have been telling me about this one, pink node sub ID, which is the DApp from Subsocial. So again, not real projects. I would say more features. Okay, some of them are features, so you have to be careful. Of course, Parallel Hyco, which won the 10th parachain auction. Ceres, which I have covered before. Kilt, of course, with which won the 6th parachain auction. Byzant Trails provides a suite of easy-to-use infrastructure. Integrity, again, the same. What's interesting about Integrity is that they've promised to reward people with tokens even if they don't win a parachain auction in this batch, and they're not going to win it, but apparently they're going to do the same as Robonomics. Apparently Darwinia's Crab have done the same as well back in the first batch, and nobody knew about it. I personally didn't know about it. I think very few people knew about that. AuthTrail is a SaaS platform that provides contract-based integrity to enterprise data. Oh, and by the way, just to finish off this, because some people may have questions in the comments afterwards. So yeah, if you contribute to Integrity, for example, and we know they're not going to win, let's say you contribute 1 Kusama, you are going to get that 1 Kusama back when the 11th auction is over, when Kintsugi win, and then you're also going to get tokens, right? So that's why some people are hyped up about that, but keep in mind that because they're not going to win the auction, they're not going to get listed on KuCoin, they're not going to get listed on Kraken, they only list the winners. Okay, so that's something that you should keep in mind. Sure, yeah, you're going to get the free tokens, but you still need to wait, right? They're going to be a parathread, they're going to remain as a parathread until the 3rd batch, and who knows if they're going to make it in the 3rd batch and the 4th batch. Yeah, sure, it's nice to see the tokens, but if they're not trading anywhere, then what use is it really? That's my other question, right? So that's the reason I personally did not contribute to Integrity. Not that I have that much KSM left anyway, but personally I wouldn't, just because of that. It's like, okay, sure, I get the tokens, but what's the point if I cannot use them? But yeah, maybe at some point if they win a parachain auction, they could be useful. Dotmog is a project that I've covered before. They're still working on this. Unity 3D, Calamari. YY token, YI token is a decentralized multi-chain cryptocurrency and NFT wallet. So yeah, these are ones that you have to be aware of here. Some of these are good, some of these are not. Yeah, if you go to substrate based here, like I was saying before in other videos, here you can see only the projects that are building on the Kusama or Polkadot eco. So Light Entry is one that's going to be participating in the 3rd batch of the auctions. Okay, they're Web3 3.0 in identity aggregation protocol that enables cross-chain credit computations. Acropolis, again, one that we've been discussing before. Assure Network. Totem as well, one that I've had a look at before. Polka BDC, which is Interlay, and of course Kintsugi, and Interlay is here as well. Ptract. So yeah, quite a lot of them here. As you can see, there's quite a lot of them. So yeah, if you want to do some research on some of these projects, Zeitgeist is one that I want to research, to be honest. If you click on this here, you can get more information. So Zeitgeist is an evolving blockchain for prediction markets and futurity. They're also on Oracle, but Pontem Network is one that I'm definitely bullish on. This one is going to be they're going to be launching, they're going to be participating in the 3rd batch of the auctions as well, and I think this is going to be a really hyped one. I think the community is going to be behind them a lot. Basically, they're the bridge between Facebook's blockchain Diem and Kusama, and they're also going to be building a bridge between Diem and Polkadot. Okay, so they're going to work on the bridge between Kusama first and then Polkadot. So just a quick summary here. Pontem, a no-code Polkadot parachain, is a bridge between the regulated and unregulated worlds that will allow exchange and value between the two. It is backed by Wings Foundation, a Swiss-based non-profit foundation established in 2016. What Pontem does is connect DM and the decentralized world, including traditional crypto markets. The network will help DM users get access to all the use cases provided by the unregulated society, such as financial instruments, security tools, and even games. And it's definitely great, right? Because now we've got this information way ahead of time, so we've got time to do in-depth research on these sort of projects like Pontem Network, like Zeitgeist, which we want to prepare for. Light Entry too, we want to prepare for them. And also Zenlink. I almost forgot about Zenlink because I've been speaking about them way before. I've done a dedicated review of them ages ago. Zenlink is a cross-chain DEX protocol based on Polkadot. Okay, so think of them as the protocol which is going to link all the DEXs on Substrate together, right? Think of Polkadex being a DEX. Think of Moonriver having some DEXs. Think of Shiden Network having some DEXs, and then think of all these DEXs all being linked together through the Zenlink protocol. So that's what Zenlink does, right? So yeah, they're also going to be applying to become a parachain. Another bullish project, right? Another one that you should have your eyes on. Zenlink, Light Entry, Pontem Network, and Zeitgeist, in my opinion, the four that are ones to be looking at going forward, right? Considering with the upcoming third batch of the auctions, these are projects that we should be looking at. These are projects that may do well. People will be researching these, I'm sure. And then, of course, there could be some surprise ones as well, but it's too early to say, right? I'm not going to say, yeah, these are definitely the best projects. These are ones that I'm going to keep an eye on, but we won't really know until we'll know the distribution ratio, until we'll know the tokenomics, what they're planning to do for the crowd loans, right? We need to know their strategy at the end of the day. If we don't know their strategy, we cannot put our hand in fire and say, okay, yeah, sure, we're going to be going for this one for sure because they're good. No, we don't know yet, right? We need to see the strategy for the crowd loan. We need to see how many tokens they're going to be distributing to the community, because if they're going to do 2%, then that's a goner in my eyes, and I just don't like that, right? If you're not going to be distributing at least 10% to the community, then it means you're not really into this crowd loan. You want to feed the VCs and you want to feed the remaining community to the VCs, to the sharks, right? That's what they're trying to do, in my opinion. And we've seen it with projects like Kilt. Awesome project, don't get me wrong, awesome project, but they just didn't like the crowd loan community. They only had 3% to give to us. And the same for Parallel Heiko. They didn't like the community, right? Only 2%. They wanted to feed us to the sharks. And that's why I stayed away. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to monitor Zenlink, Light Entry, Pontem Network, Zeitgeist, and others. But these are the ones that I've got my eyes on. And I'm likely going to be doing reviews on some of these which I've missed, like Pontem Network, Zeitgeist. I've not done a review on that. And I've covered Light Entry before and Zenlink, okay? So do search for those on my channel if you are interested. Thank you for watching today's video, and as always, drop me a comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.